Hello, everybody, and welcome to this special episode of the Imperial HoloNet. I'm JID123, and I'm joined here by Deapoolzilla today. Say hi.
Hi.
And we are here to talk about the very special and somewhat breaking rumors of Hollywood Reporter reporting that they are in talks for an Obi-Wan film, and they are trying to get director Stephen Daldry to direct it. Now, remember, nothing has been confirmed. These are just rumors, but these are Hollywood reporters reporting this, and they are like an A grade movie news announcement. So, Deapoolzilla, what are your thoughts on this revelation?
Hollywood Reporter has in the past been like an 80 to 90% accurate on most stuff. So I mean they were pretty on the money with what was going to happen in Captain America, the third movie, and it was going to be Civil War, and they were right. um, so that's my thing right here is that it this looks like a good possibility. The major thing we have to look at though is that you still got to take it with a grain of salt regardless. I mean, no matter how like accurate it is, there could be some inaccuracy there. Um, and I think an Obi-Wan movie is kind of something they've wanted to do for the longest time with these anthology movies. And there's so much, story you can do there.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast just a couple of minutes ago, actually, before we started, and they actually brought up an interesting idea that, like, we're so confident in as a fan base that it's going to be set in between episodes 3 and 4, and I'm almost certain it is, but there's like a small chance that this could be, and I'm just speculating here, a weird, like, maybe like teenage Obi-Wan, like his Jedi Padawan years, and he meets Qui-Gon, and he learns to become a Padawan, and kind of leads up to episode 1 in a weird way. I doubt that's the direction they're gonna go, but they haven't confirmed Ewan McGregor's in it yet.
Oh, he's going to be. There is no way that they would not have Ian McGregor in here. And as a as a Padawan story, that'd be cool. But I think, like I've said before, Disney wants to shy away from the prequels for a good
Yeah.
amount of time. They're very tentative about it because, yeah, the prequel. I don't hate the prequels like most people do, but yeah, there's a good majority that really just despise the prequels. So I,
Yeah, I get ya. Do you think that maybe the Obi-Wan film can help ease the hurt? I mean, the fanboy rage.
maybe, but again, I think it's going. There's so much, it's a 20-year gap. There's so much story you can do there. And Ewan McGregor he's very much open to the idea of doing an Obi-Wan movie. So I think it's a good possibility that you can get him back and do, a story of what he did after the Jedi Purge.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see like where in the timeline, like it's like day one after Obi Wan got on Tatooine, or it's gonna be like 2 years in, 5 years in, 15 years
I
in.
really I really don't want a young Luke Skywalker in here. I mean, you could have the actor who played Uncle Owen in the prequels back, but just have him meet like at like Mos Eisley or something. I really don't want to have like this really forced in scene of Luke of like a young Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I hear ya. Everyone says they should go like a Logan route, not in terms of like violence or gore or rated R, but I think more of like just a personal study of Obi Wan being alone, maybe a little broken, but still trying to protect Luke as he kind of struggles with what's it like to be a Jedi without the Jedi Order. And I think also another thing you could do is have him learn to be a Force Ghost. Bring Qui Gon Jinn back. I want that.
That's actually something I really want in here is to bring up the whole thing of the training Yoda said. And that you could do Qui-Gon in here. You could actually have Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn in here, and because yeah, you could do the whole Force Ghost thing.
Oh, I would totally be in for that because I love Qui Gon Jinn. He's my I have a soft spot for him in Phantom Menace. He's like that weird comfort zone. It's like when he's around, I just feel safe.
It's kind of funny. I actually a week or so ago, I just finished reading Jedi: The Dark Side.
Oh yeah, I heard about that one. Um, that's with
It's
that dark.
actually made it actually made me really like Qui-Gon as a character.
Oh, nice. I've always liked Qui Gon, even without the book. But yeah, I would love to see that. And then maybe it's like a multiple story thing where you have like he's dealing with Force Ghost training, but then we got like a B plot that's sort of like the Kenobi novel. Have you read the Kenobi novel? I haven't. I know of it
I,
though.
I I haven't. It actually, would be a cool story. Is like he feels like there's a disconnection from the Force for a long time because like he's kind of, even though he has like some hope with Luke, he's at like a really low point. And I guess you could say you could have this in any point, and it's such a 20-year gap. There's so much more there. Obviously, you can't do the later years with because that'd
Right.
be a little too old. So I would say, it'd be a really interesting place to take this, like 6 months after Revenge of the Sith, like or even like almost a year after Revenge of the Sith, and you've got the Empire like still growing.
I could see that. Definitely, make it. I mean, Ewan McGregor's still young, so he could probably pull any age off, and it wouldn't matter that much. But yeah, like because in Twin Sons, which is the closest thing we get to Obi-Wan in the new canon now, I feel like he's sort of like, he even tells Mom, like, look what I have risen above. It's sort of like he's probably has some trials on Tatooine, but he's kind of risen above that and reached some sort of like Jedi enlightenment kind of a thing.
The
Uh,
other thing is, and that's the other thing is, you can't really do Maul as the. I know a lot of people is like, oh, you should totally do Maul as a
oh
character
no, I
as the film.
disagree. I always been
Yeah,
opposed to
because
that.
you've already because yeah, we already did that in Twin Sons. You can't do that in the movie.
It's not just that. I feel like because the movies are a lot more for general audiences than the cartoons. Like the cartoons have like a more of a smaller audience, and I think like that audience, a good chunk of them probably did watch Clone Wars before switching to Rebels. I feel like you can get away with that in the animated stuff, but for the movies, which reach a much wider audience, like to them, Darth Maul's been dead for like that's it. Like they don't know that Darth Maul came back. And before people in the comments say, well, what about Saw Gerrera? They brought him in from the animated. Well, Saw Gerrera works because all you really need to know is he's an extremist and he has a connection with Jin. Knowing that he's from Clone Wars is kind of like a little extra bonus, and I don't think it meshes well with Maul. And before anyone else in the comments brings up, what about Old Wounds? Old Wounds was never canon. That's like a more of an artsy kind of what
That
if
was more of an Elseworld.
yeah, kind of an Elseworld thing that somehow that was very influential later on, but still. Um, but yeah, that's the reason I don't think Maul would have never worked. Although someone brought up a good idea if you wanted to use a Clone Wars character, if he's still alive, Cad Bane could work honestly.
Oh yeah, Cad Bane and Ayla. Not Ayla. Aura. Why did I say Ayla? Aura Singh.
Oh, definitely. You could bring them and that, and you don't really explain too much. Just know like, oh, these were bounty hunters, and they know Kenobi, or they know of Kenobi because he's probably still wanted by the Empire.
Yeah. That would work too. I actually would really like Jabba in this movie.
Fun fact, actually, there was another report from Star Wars Newsnet talking about like what they had for the future, and one of them was an Boba Fett film. Obviously, they're always bringing that up, and another was a Jabba story. They didn't say movie; they said story. So, um, I don't think they're gonna probably make a Jabba centric movie, which would be very interesting. But I could definitely see Jabba appearing in like in the Obi-Wan film, and even in a bounty hunter film because it's the underworld. It's MO.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Jabba would work really well in here. Because yeah, um I think what would happen, what would be a cool story for this is that you don't really focus on Luke in any danger. It's just you have like there's several villages throughout Tatooine, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think I know what you're going.
And have it that Obi-Wan is kind of like just kind of drifting place to place as he's trying to reconnect with the Force. Um and he is it's kind of like almost like like you said, Logan or seven
But
or like a Kurosawa film or a Western actually.
that
Actually,
yeah, I know the Kenobi film is very much based off Seven Samurai in a lot of ways. The Kenobi book, my bad.
yeah. Um, but yeah, you could definitely do, because the best way you could do this is a Western, like the old gunslinger getting back into action.
Yeah, I would say do a mix of like the Kenobi book, which is sort of that seven. I only know because Red tells me these things, which is sort of like Seven Samurai. Obi Wan's helping out people, with some mix of that sort of Force kind of I'm learning to be a Force ghost kind of thing.
Yeah. Um, I think that's that would be a good way to put it. And I would love to see Obi-Wan fight some Tusken Raiders.
Right. And that's another thing you can do. You can show him learning about Tatooine. Like in episode 4, he goes, uh, um, Tusken Raiders, they march single file to hide their numbers. Or, I forget the line, shoot. But just like learns the ways of Tatooine. A lot of people want him to fight a crate dragon for some reason.
I wouldn't mind that. It's just that our crate dragons even canon anymore.
Yes, because we see a crate dragon's bones in episode 4.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. You got me.
So that's technically yes. Whether they're mentioned by name or not is another story. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one because it would have to be very small scale, unless you wanted to do like flashbacks or something. That's never been like a Star Wars thing. Um, I mean, there have been like Rogue One kind of experimented with it, but it never went full on flashback. Um, Episode 8 might have some flashbacks, or at least some Force visions.
Yeah. And the other thing is, like, a lot of people be like, "Oh, can we have Luke in this movie in any way?" Well, that's the thing is that Uncle Owen, I think Owen would have that he wants to keep Obi-Wan away.
Yeah, I don't even know if young Luke even met Ben. I know he knows of him.
Yeah. And in the Star Wars comics by Marvel, there is an adventure of them together.
Right, I read that. It was cute. I mean, obviously, if you have Uncle Owen, he can mention his nephew all he wants. But
Well, here's another thing, and I don't know if you'll agree with this, is that um, a lot of people have been kind of theorizing, could you do Vader in this movie?
No, I don't want Vader.
Well, a lot of people are and here's why people are saying you could possibly work Vader is the whole line of you should not have come back. You can interpret that in different ways. You could interpret that they met another time and he somehow got away from Vader.
Maybe, but
I don't want Vader in here. I really do. I mean, you could have Vader in, like, you could have mentions of Vader.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing mentions of Anakin too.
Yeah, like the whole. You could honestly have like the opening scene of him sleeping, of like Obi-Wan sleeping, and all you hear is like the Vader's breathing, and it's getting louder and louder until you see Obi-Wan's eyes just snap open.
Yeah. I know you might disagree with this, and I know a lot of people would, but I almost would. I wanted to go full on and just like have the breathing, and Obi-Wan hears the scenes of Mustafar like, "I hate you," and then Obi-Wan's like, "You were my brother, Anakin, and I loved you." He delivers that line pretty well. Hayden Christensen does not. But I would like to hear that. And then Obi-Wan wakes up like he's dreaming of Mustafar in his head.
Yeah.
Um.
I would, there's so many ways you could. I'm not opposed to this. It's just that I was kind of like at the whole time. I'm like, I mean, it's cool to do an Obi-Wan movie, but the Star Wars universe, we can do so much more than that. It's kind of like asking, do we need a Han Solo movie? But I give the Obi-Wan movie a little more pass because there's so much story you could tell in that 20-year gap. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that, and I also think another reason why I give the Obi-Wan film a pass is now is the time to do it. If we have a movie, now is the time. Because Ewan McGregor's like that perfect age right now, where he's still young, so he looks like a young Obi-Wan, but he's getting old enough where he could match like Obi-Wan in his 40s. Like 15 years in Tatooine, 5 years in Tatooine.
I would say 10 to be just to have the middle of the road. Like the Empire is now like 10 years into the Empire. It's fully secured now, so.
Yeah, 10 years tops, definitely. And then, like now if you're going to make an Obi-Wan film, this is now the time. Do it now. Speaking of the Empire, how much of the Empire should there be? Like, should they be a force on Tatooine, or should it just mostly be like Jabba and the gangs?
I would say it'd be more of the gangs, but you would have an Imperial presence there. And like Obi-Wan's keeping his head down. Like, obviously, there is an Imperial presence on Tatooine, but it's not a major force.
Yeah, I think they kept Tatooine pretty off. I think they didn't care about Tatooine or a lot
Yeah,
of
it
the
was
other.
mostly it was still under Hut control more often.
Right. Something I mentioned earlier, but I don't think we got into a lot. Flashbacks. Do you think they should try for flashbacks? Like maybe see young Obi-Wan meet Qui-Gon at the temple. You know, if
I,
you
I think if anything, if you were going to do a flashback, just do one of him meeting Qui-Gon for the first time, like it just as a flashback slash dream, and then it like you could have a scene of like a younger Obi-Wan like meditating with Qui-Gon. He's like, oh, I can't do it, and then it cuts to it fades to Obi-Wan now, and he's trying to meditate and get connection to Qui-Gon again.
Yeah, I would honestly love that because if you know if they wanted to make this sort of like a help, like if they want to like make this movie more of a prequel kind of redeemer in the eyes of the general audiences, you know, bring Qui Gon and Obi Wan back, who are like Qui Gon's definitely a staple of the prequels, and I would love just to see him come back personally, and sort of like just show what that relationship is like now. Now that they're
Yeah,
older.
I think it would be more like I wouldn't. This would definitely be like towards the end of the movie, if anything. I'd also love to see like Obi-Wan telling him, "Look, I failed. I failed Anakin. I failed you. I, yeah, Obi-Wan. You'd have to imagine that Obi-Wan's kind of at a low point.
Oh
you know, even
yeah.
even though he's got some hope in him. There's hope for Luke. They've saved Leia. Um, yeah. But at the same time, he's like, oh my God, we are literally wiped out. We are. He doesn't even know there's other Jedi out there. Um, he would be at a dark place right now.
Definitely. Maybe he's even trying to like get in contact with Yoda via the Force, but he can't do it.
Yeah. Um, I definitely think that you could do this as a drama, as an action drama film, even more so than what Rogue One was.
Oh, definitely. I think this would definitely be a very sober movie. It would also be a very small scale movie too. Compared to like you think of Star Wars, you think of like planet hopping, and big wars and action sequences, and this would have to take place on Tatooine. Like I don't want Obi Wan to leave Tatooine.
Although there were a series of books of him in the previous continuity, like little scholastics books of him traveling to other planets for what were they called? Just Last Jedi, and it was him going on these missions, regrettably, if I remember right. But yeah, no, I don't want him. I don't want a whole world hopping thing. This would be on. I would want this on Tatooine, like
Yeah,
to remain. Because if he left, what would be the point? Like the whole point of going to Tatooine is to watch over Luke.
yeah, you got and going. I just think leaving Tatooine to go on mission just seems very irresponsible.
Yeah,
um, because you die, then that's it, game over. I mean, you could die on Tatooine, but at least you're staying on the planet. It's weird. Out of both, there's so much you can do, and yet I'm drawing blanks on what you could do. Because I'm so used to like big epic Star Wars with lots of planet hopping, not one place. I feel like this should be a shorter movie, but that's probably not going to happen. Um, Want to talk about the director a little bit? The perceived director. What's his name?
I have no idea what he's done.
I think his biggest one, well, for me, I know him from The Crown, which is a Netflix series about the Queen of England, which I quite liked. He's not the
Oh,
head guy. He directed an
oh,
episode.
that's the show with Matt Smith, right?
Oh yeah, it's so weird seeing Matt Smith in anything that's not Doctor Who. Um, he did that Tom Hanks movie about 9/11. Um, I'm drawing a blank. It's like extremely loud and noisy.
Extremely Loud and Incredible Close, if I remember the title right.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's
Uh,
done. So the director has done a lot of drama stuff. Is
yeah.
basically he's done a lot of drama centric films, not so much action films. But like I said, I wouldn't mind if this was a drama. But for the moviegoers, you do need. Well, to be fair, Logan really danced. Really held the line of both being an action and drama.
Yeah, I think if you go the more Logan route in that regard, then I think you can do it well. Do you think there should be how many like side characters should there be? Like, I feel like I mean, obviously Obi-Wan should be just about Obi-Wan, but I feel like they would add some people, like maybe a new character, like a local Tatooine. Tatooine, is that even a word? Um, and obviously like the bad guys, but like someone to join Obi-Wan, like I don't know, who's not Uncle Owen.
Yeah, I would say like someone like I don't know, like a farm, like a droid, or because the main thing is that I really want this to be very Obi-Wan centric. I mean, you could have supporting guests there, and the Empire would be there, but I don't think the Empire can be another force there. But don't make them the main enemy. You can have the Tusken Raiders and the gangs be the main enemy. Um,
Yeah, or Jabba even.
yeah, Jabba. I mean, there's a lot of space to tell that who couldn't say that Obi-Wan and Jabba's paths crossed after the Clone Wars.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, and although I feel like Jabba would probably sell Obi-Wan out, but
Well, maybe there was a agreement between the two.
yeah. And who knows? It'll be fun to see what's going on with Jabba now in the new canon. I mean, we gotta know what happened to Stinky, the baby, because we all love that character. No, we don't. But yeah, I'd love to see Jabba in.
If you also heard that they're apparently not only a Boba Fett movie but also a Yoda film.
That's always been a rumor. I buy more the Boba Fett film than the Yoda movie. I could possibly see it in there. I feel like if they did a Yoda film, I would like to see a Yoda film pre Phantom Menace. Honestly, um, not like his origins, but like pre Fantasy, what he's doing like pre Phantom Menace, just to get into that era. Um,
Yeah, but like you could even do a story on him on Dagobah, really, like him again, kind of mirroring the whole Obi-Wan thing of him trying to, obviously he hit a low point after losing to the Emperor. But maybe even encounter the trials Luke had on the planet.
I mean that could be interesting. I'd have to see how they do with Obi Wan first before I see if I would want another movie on just one planet again. Um,
Yeah, but I know a lot of people like want. There's certain things people want with this movie. Planet hopping and mall, and to which I say I kind of just want a Logan version, a Star Wars version of Logan.
Oh, me too. I completely agree. Like people, I've always noticed that people are disappointed. Like they felt like there should have been a Maul duel in an Obi Wan movie, but I just can't see that mentality. It just doesn't mesh well. I mean,
And again, already did we Twin Sons already did it. If you want to see it, go watch Twin Sons.
I know that too. But even before Twin Sons, they wanted in a movie, and I think because they felt like it was cinematic. It's like I don't know. I think there should be certain things you keep in the animated world that you don't do in live action. Um, that's sort of like medium work, 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 work.
All right, I don't really think we have much to say, honestly.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, folks. I just turned on the recording. So, the technical difficulty, but we were just about to finish up anyway. So, yeah, Obi-Wan film. It's always been that film that everybody knew was going to happen, yet nobody said anything and they still haven't said anything technically, but I think it's going to happen, and I think Hollywood Reporter pretty much just indicates that, yeah, it's going to happen. We might not get an official announcement for a while, but it's going to happen. When do you think we'll get an official announcement?
Probably soon, like maybe next month, maybe even later this month. Honestly,
Yeah, and what excites me about it is, because I'm still a little nervous about episode 9 because of Trevorrow, but I don't want to be too scared. But I feel like if episode 9 kind of doesn't do as well as I hope, I have an Obi-Wan film to look forward to the year after, and hopefully it'll be really good. especially if it has a smooth production for once, unlike the last two anthology films. Um, but yeah, that's my final say on it. So until next time, everybody. Later.